Welcome to another episode of the Savage Land. And today's video is going to be a special video. Today is the top 10 of 2021 in action figures. I'm a big collector. I don't necessarily go with one line. So my top 10 is going to be a spread across many different lines. I don't have any Marvel Legends on here. It's not because I'm biased against Marvel Legends or on something like, hey, screw you Marvel Legends, but they were good enough to be here, they would be here. I will say this, the only one I think that really truly deserves to be on a top 10 is the AOA Colossus Build-A-Figure. My top 10 will be off paint, articulation, playability, and cost. I hope you guys enjoy, and we're gonna start with our number 10 figure. All right, coming in at number 10, we have the Dark Father Build-A-Figure. This is a very sleeper figure. I think the figures to make this were very sleeper figures. Get this set, it's the Batman Death Metal Dark Father. Dope figure. He deserves to be up here. He deserves to be talked about. Please don't let this figure go to waste. It's a very, very, very unique piece. It's put together well. It was put together with love and quality. That's my number 10 figure. DC Multiverse McFarlane Dark Father Build-A-Figure. Coming in at number 9 on my list is Mattel's Jurassic World Amber Collection Male Velociraptor. Now, with my top 10 list, this is what I'll do as some extra gimmies. On some of these, it's gonna represent an entire line. I believe this entire line belongs at number 9. I believe this is a sleeper line. Plenty of paint, plenty of articulation. A lot of people, like I said, are talking about the animals in the G.I. Joe line, but nobody's talking about the animals in this Mattel line. I think this is hands down the best line that Mattel puts out. Male Velociraptor comes in at number 9. If you haven't picked any of these toys up, please pick them up. They're fun. It's hard to go wrong with them. Great paint. They have bendy wires in the tail. Great articulation. Moves just like a raptor. You can take great pictures with it. The whole line, Amber Collection. That's my number 9 pick, Male Velociraptor. Coming in at number 8, we have the AEW Orange Cassidy. I knew jack diddly squat about Orange Cassidy until I seen him in Walmart going toy hunting, and I seen him in the aisles, and I seen that jean suit. I was like, man, that Joker got on a bad jean suit, man. And I love it when an action figure makes me buy. He made me buy him. He made me hunt down another one of him. He made me go to YouTube and figure out who this guy was. Make a long story short, I went to YouTube. That's pretty much how I got introduced to AEW. And just seeing how this guy wrestled. It was a very unique, abstract style where he's just very lackluster, almost like a sloth with his hands in his pants. And he just does these little kicks, and he'll use your force to get you, almost like jiu-jitsu. That's how he wrestles. He doesn't really move. He moves off your moves. And at the end of the day, AEW is kicking Mattel's ASS when it comes to these wrestling action figures. AEW Jazzwares is putting a lot of love into these figures. Every figure I've seen come out of this line is just something out of this world. I mean, his jeans at the top is almost kind of like a rubbery material, real pliable, so he can put his hands in his pants. What action figure have you ever seen do that? They got his soft goods is incredible. I mean, I have a They Live from Mattel, Roddy Piper, and it's just like night and day. They both have on streetwear, but it's night and day. The They Live, Roddy Piper is shopping off the rack. This guy's outfit was custom made for him. He got it custom made, tailored to fit his body. I mean, Jazzwares blew this out the park. Jazzwares AEW line comes in at number 8. Any one of these figures could have easily been Number 8, the Cody Rhodes, Puerto Rican cat. I forgot his name, but he's done with a lot of love. Look at his fro. Look at his clothes. They got the Puerto Rican flag with the gloves. Orange Cassidy. Any one of AEW figures I would have pulled out could have easily got the number 8 spot. So that's why Jazz wears AEW, specifically Orange Cassidy, comes in at number 8 on my list. Coming in at number 7 on my list is Megatron Beast Wars for the Transformers Kingdom collection. This figure is a really, really, really good figure. Hands down, one of the best Transformers I've ever brought in my life. It runs a $50 tag. The one on red. In red, I caught at Target on sale for $25 was even better. Dope figure. I've never really even seen a Transformer made like this. The texture on it almost feels like a real dinosaur. Transform, you can blend this guy in with your just regular Jurassic Park collection. I'm not even a Transformer guy, and like I said, this is hands down the best Transformer that I've ever brought. It's so good that I brought 2 in different colors. The purple one, like Barney, that is actually Megatron. This guy in the red and back, that's a Target exclusive called T-Rex. And it's like a car wreck, how they spell it. Dope figures. Dope figures. The love and the texture and the care they put into the dinosaur part of this thing, man. This is something awesome. It's a crying shame I haven't even transformed them yet, but that's the reason I never collected Transformers. I hate transforming. It takes like 28 steps to do this, and I heard in the waist where this turn is kind of sketchy on the waist turn trying to transform this thing, but I'm still gonna do it one day. But that lets you know it's a good figure because I don't even care for Transformers like that, and it made me buy it as soon as I seen it. I seen it on YouTube at the beginning of the year. I was like, you know what? I gotta go out and find one of those. And when I did, oh my man, it was definitely worth it, and it definitely deserves the number 7 place on my top 10 list. It was going to be at number 10 because I was being biased because I didn't like Transformers, but I actually had to move this thing up. I had to move it up because it deserves to be number 7 on my list. And number 6 on my list is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Tinga Warrior. The Lightning Collection, like I always say, it's one of the lines that gets the most love. This thing has paint apps that's out of this world that glows and shimmers in the light. It's almost like a chameleon paint that it's painted with. He comes with an extra set of wings that are a little bit bigger, so when you want to put him in a flying motion, and then he has kind of like a shrunken down set of wings, which I have on him now, when you just kind of want to have him running around. He's got an articulated jaw, which is always fun. And his articulation, he's a plug and play action figure. You can just set him down and just go. It's hard not to like this guy. Number 6 on my list, Power Rangers Tinga Warrior. Matter of fact, all the Power Rangers line period gets number 6. The number 5 spot goes to my boy Jason Voorhees. This is the NECA Friday the 13th Part 7 New Blood Jason Voorhees. And this is hands down the best Jason figure I ever seen NECA make. This is the best Jason figure. Might beat out Mezco. I never had a Mezco. I've seen it, and sometimes an action figure will make me get it just from the advertisement. And this guy was one of them. But he's so good that I really want a third one. He is so good. There's so much detail in this Jason. He's spot on. He looks just like he jumped off the 3D screen. I did a photography with him, and you don't have to do too much because just when the light gets on him, he illuminates on the camera. All his features, you can see the torn muscle, the shredded clothing, the bone coming out of his back. This is a hands down bad ass figure, and he can rival imports at $30. That's all he costs. If you're smart, you'll get your hands on this. This is a good figure, and that's why he deserves my number 5 spot. Jason, Friday the 13th, Part 7, New Blood, NECA, number 5 on my list. Number 4 on my list, Super 7 Michelangelo Playmates Remake. What can I say about Super 7 is they really kind of swept me off my feet in the Turtle War. Why? Because if I had this toy when I was a little kid, I probably would still have it to this day. This is one dope figure. It's a dope concept that Super 7 came out with. Hey, how about we grab their toys that they used to play with, make them a little bit bigger, kick them up in scale because the guys like it a little bit bigger now, but let's amplify that toy. Let's amplify the articulation. Let's amplify the weapons. Let's make it a little bit more real. Let's give them options. And that's what this figure gives you. It gives you a nostalgic head sculpt, and it gives you this new school head sculpt that Mikey got right here. That's what made me get this figure. I like the way his teeth with the gaps in it are showing. They give you a realistic looking nunchucks, and then they also give you an old weapons rack, which has that same basic color, like a brown sausage looking color for all your weapons, just for a nostalgic feel, which I never break that weapons rack. I just keep it all intact. The newer weapons that they give you, they come with plenty of paint. They have, some of them have real chain metal. They're just very updated. His movement is updated. He can move his hips. Him and his brothers are pretty much all the same. And this one right here for number 4, Michelangelo is representing Super 7 Turtles line all across the board. I think that whole line deserves number 4. It doesn't matter. Alright, coming in at number 3 on my list is Storm Collectibles SubZero Unmasked version. I grew quite frank with this figure because I remember when Mortal Kombat 3 came out on Sega and Super Nintendo. It was 1996, 95-ish era, and that was the first time I ever kind of see SubZero change up. Now, if you're from the 90s and you grew up in the 90s, you know Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2 were pretty much kind of tandem kind of items there. Now, in part 2, they introduced some new characters like Baraka came along, but 3 was just a totally different ball game. Tons of new characters. Everybody kind of changed up their suits a little bit, and this SubZero right here, he was unmasked. The Storm Collectibles knocking it out the park. You have to pay for their figures, but they make it worth it. I own a Reptile, a Scorpion, a couple of other Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat figures, and I have no problem with none of them. I almost left this guy off the list, and I don't know how, because the figures, the accessories that he comes with is out of this world. He can put you in an ice capsule, break you apart. His blood effects, I have used more than I've used him. That's how good his effects are. He has blood splatter that I've used in other photo shoots, man. This thing is dope. I don't even know if they'll ever come back out with him like this again, because Storm Collectibles almost seem like they're a one and done type thing and they just move on. This is more than a toy, man. This is a damn piece right here. This is dope. He look like he jumped right off the video game screen. This SubZero, I like him better than the hooded ones. I really do. The paint looks great. His articulation is good. And the reason I don't come on stuttered like that, because if you know Storm Collectibles, they had this sounds like you almost have to oil them up. But that is the only thing. It doesn't seem like he's about to break, because his entire figure, which with a lot of their figures seems so pliable, it's almost like impossible to break him. Their counterpart Mayfax moves a little bit better than them, but sometimes you have, like, if you do something a little too rough with a Mayfax, you might go and take it on out of here. The Storm Collectibles, I will give them that. They're very tough and durable. Sometimes it almost seems like a pain to move them around, but I wouldn't say it's like an ordeal like NECA. But this guy right here, I brought 2. I'm glad I brought 2. If I had the money, I would have brought 3, man. He is awesome. And that's why SubZero Storm Collectibles deserves the number 3 spot on my 2021 countdown. Number 2 on my list is Mayfax Jim Lee Edition Gambit. What can I say? Mafex, I love it. They're in the same ballpark as far as price range as Storm Collectibles. You're gonna pay about $100, but as far as paint, they're the most articulated toy line that I think I own. And just like Storm Collectibles, Mafex toy line, period, gets the number 2 spot in my 2021 countdown. This Gambit was badass. It definitely wasn't hard to shoot with him. The only drawback, like I said, I have with Mafex is they're so good and softly articulated that they get kind of limber. And I haven't owned one for years and years and years, so I don't know how that's gonna hold up. But this dude right here, he is just one bad mamma jamma. His coat is an action figure alone. A nice wired coat, and it feels like it's made of canvas. It's real tough. It almost feels like a real coat. Mafex killed it on this one. They really did. I was looking at my Marvel Legends Gambit. I'm finna go to the flea market and sell that thing just as soon as I can. I'm gonna bag him up with some other figures, and he's getting out of here because you don't need another Gambit. Like I said in the review, after you purchase this one. I'm a double up guy. He's part of the double up club, and I'm glad I brought a second one. Who knows what the future may hold. But this dude right here, man, this is the best Gambit I've ever seen in my life. When you just start comparing him to the Marvel Legends one, the other one looks like his retarded cousin. This dude right here is the real deal. It's the real deal. You don't need anything else. He can take his coat off. He's the only Gambit I've ever seen that can move his coat like that. Everybody knows Gambit's coat is almost like a cape. It's part of his expression. If you can't express him, then you can't really get the full Gambit. Now, if you got him in some stiff coat where all he can do is walk straight, that's not Gambit. He has some Spider-Man type reflexes and moves with him. When you see him in a comic book, his leg is always kicked wild with him throwing his cards in an awkward position. And that's the way he should be. Mafex definitely knocked it out the park. Mafex as a line is just a beautiful line. These are two phenomenal figures. I mean, I had to put them up there at the same time. I just got that blue and gray Batman about a week ago, and he deserves a number 2 spot also, but Gambit been holding it ever since October, September, whenever I got him, he's been holding that spot. The Magneto, the Age of Apocalypse Magneto, I would never get that Marvel Legends one. There's no point, there's no need. I have the Mafex Age of Apocalypse Magneto, which comes with way more accessories, has an articulated cape, and he's just dope. I mean, why? It doesn't make sense. Not unless you're talking about a money thing. But if you have the money, like I say in a lot of reviews, to get these figures, you need to get them. If that's what you're into. If you're looking for a really good figure and you don't want to sell something down the line, I don't ever really plan on selling this Gambit or this blue and gray Batman. For what? Why do I need to sell them? I have the Batmans that I need. I have the Gambit that I need right here. Mafex is killing it. The wired fabric capes, the good soft paint that they put on there, I mean the articulation, that Batman is a behemoth. And he can move like a ninja, okay? This Gambit is moving, he can move like Spider-Man, the way he needs to move. And like I said, his coat is an action figure within itself. His coat is an action figure within itself. And that's why Gambit and the entire Mafex line deserves the number 2 spot in my 2021 countdown. And the numero uno spot on my 2021 countdown for top 10 action figures goes to the Cobra Trooper. It goes to the G.I. Joe classified line, period. They are the number 1 line in 2021 and probably 2022. You cannot touch them as far as price, as far as accessories, as far as playability, and as far as the fanfare. They kicked everybody's ASS. This is a dope line. And out of all of them, why do you say I say the Cobra Trooper? This is the first one that was so accessible. If I wanted 20, I got 20. If I wanted 5, I got 5. If I wanted to get them offline, I could get them offline. And I would say if I wanted to get them in store, but I ain't never seen them in store. Damn classified line. But if you wanted to get them offline or anywhere, man, they just made it open in the availability. And that's what it's supposed to be about. How can I go wrong with buying 50 of the same action figures? I'm the same guy who busted open 50 of these things. And I had no problem doing it. And I would do it again. That Cobra Trooper is something special. He's ready to play and go. You can set him down, just flat-footed, and he'll stand. I hate an action figure if I just try to set it down real quick. It's going to take you 2 minutes to stand up. I hate that. This Cobra Trooper, he was built to last. He comes with plenty of accessories. He has plenty of paint. With this new G.I. Joe Classified line, their helmet is an accessory on most figures. And if they don't have that, they have something to make up, like a cool backpack. This is a throwback to nostalgia. This is an introduction into the future also. That Viper, best damn Viper I ever picked up in my life. He's the best out of all the troopers. I know Cobra Trooper gets the #1 spot, but sometimes the lowly guy, he gets to shine. But that Viper, can't touch him. Major Blood up there, he looks better than the original incarnation of Major Blood. If they ever do Major Blood in a cartoon, they need to make him look like that. Don't go back to that old pirate looking guy. Go to that, what they built for this classified line. He's the only action figure I ever seen on eBay for $20,000, $30,000. Bottom line, just dope figures, man. Dope figures. Price point, 20 to 25 bucks. They're coming out with the packs that got the animals with them. Those usually run 30, maybe 40 bucks. They're getting very accessible. You can order them, not just through exclusives. They're looking to dominate in 2022, and I expect them to do that. This has been hands down the best line I've ever seen G.I. Joe produce. What a smart move did to go to 6-inch. This line right here is the best line. The best line. The Cobra Trooper, the Cobra Infantry, the most accessible. You can't go wrong by buying 50 to 100 of those guys. You can't go wrong by investing into this line now. Jump in head first. And that's why they deserve my #1 spot. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed that top 10. Of course, I'm a big G.I. Joe fan, so you know G.I. Joe definitely took the #1 spot. Like what I did with the top 10, if I found it, if a line was really good, as you can see, I said the line was basically in that slot because anybody from that line could have made it in the number 8 or 7 or 6. But I hope you guys enjoyed this top 10 of 2021. If this is your first time watching, please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I have plenty of more videos coming, and I hope you guys enjoy. Let's look forward to collecting in 2022. And like I end every episode, when you walk out the door and into the year 2022, make sure you're being a person of integrity. Make sure you're helping out your fellow man. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for your family. Make sure you're standing on all 10, just like this countdown. And until the next time, God bless.